What's up guys, Jackass here, bringing a quick deck profile on Narukami Vanquisher. We do have our starter, which is Wild Run Dragoon. His effects put him in his soul, your opponent chooses a card from drop zone, binds a face up, and then you can give another unit Thunderstrike 2, they gain +5. Combos really well with Vanquisher just because it goes off early. And then, again, just makes good for good numbers and accelerates the VMAX. For our trigger lineup, we do run a standard 4 heals. I prefer the art on Celeb. I butchered that. But I do prefer the art on that. We are running a rainbow lineup where we do have 4 of the stand trigger, Dragon Dancer, Vienne. Vienne's skill is put it on top of your deck. When your opponent's unit is put into the drop zone, do an effective on your cards. You can pay the cost. If you do shuffle the deck, draw a card, and then countercharge 1. We run 4 draw triggers just to help with hand consistency, because that does tend to be a problem in this deck. The draw just gets you or at least pieces, and if not, with your voltage turn, depending on how many cards you get in there, you can just drop him and swing. Then lastly, we run 4 the Recef. Recef is put him into your soul, draw a card, give your Vanguard 5k. Very standard, again, just helps with consistency of hand size. Next we go into our grade 1s. We run 2 Fatine. Fatine is Thunderstrike 2, draw a card. Or Soul Blast 1, draw a card. Again, just more hand consistency. With voltage, you could draw per if you have 2 in there, it hits for 12k and you get to draw a card. So that's really good. Chain Bolt Dragoon. Chain Bolt Dragoon lets you, when another card or rear guard is put into the drop zone due to an effect, you can bind, if you have a grade 3 Vanquisher, you can bind another from the drop zone, give another unit +2k. He's really cool, say like with Bulwark Dragon, you can actually pump up your numbers, so it protects you from those really pokey decks, and then it just, again, accelerates voltage, or VMAX, you do need to get to Thunderstrike 5. 4 Stride Fodder. It is a G-base deck, you do need a Stride. And this just helps you get in there. And then we run 4 of the PGGs. Countercharging, again, Vienne's an option. This is another option. Just lets you have countercharge available later on, because VMAX is 2, Vanquisher skill is 2. Most of your grade 2s all cost counter blast. So you do want to have options in there to flip up damage. Next we go into the grade 2s. We do have 3 Rock Climb Dragoon. Rock Climb Dragoon, Counter Blast 1, Soul Blast 1 when placed on rear guard. Retire one of your opponent's rear guards. Bind it face up, he gains +2, so he becomes 11 while binding. We have 2 Demonic Dragon Berserker Garuda. Garuda is just on hit, Vanguard or rear guard, countercharge 1. With Voltage's numbers, he gets really high up there, so usually sometimes you'll get, oh, I have to take 1, we'll swing with him first. You get a counter charge, and then you get crazy plays later on. 4, one of the MVPs of the deck, Chatura. He can't, when he's on rear guard, he can't swing at a rear guard, but he does gain 3k, and then on hit, bind 1 from your opponent's drop zone, and then draw a card. And that's just for a counter blast, so it helps with hand, it helps accelerate voltage, so just all around a good card. We do have 3 Voltage Forge Dragoon, or Dragon. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, if he's boosted, you may pay the cost. If you do, your opponent chooses one of his or her rear guards and binds that face up. Again, another accelerator, good for popping units. It would have been cool if you could choose, but again, just being able to accelerate voltage and VMAX works out. Going on to our grade 3s, we do have 3 Blitzspirit Dragoon. Blitzspirit Dragoon is on placement on Vanguard, Counterblast, Soul Blast 1, and then your opponent chooses one of their you choose one of your rear guards in the front row, retire and bind it face up. Helps to get most of your Thunderstrike 2 abilities active quick, in case you didn't ride Narukami Vanquisher. Speaking of which, we run 4 of the star himself, Narukami Vanquisher. His GB2, you'll hardly use it, but it is decent. Whenever a unit's card is put into the drop zone, do an effect, you get +3 and then a crit. However, the on stride is during your turn whenever you stride. Counterblast 1, retire and bind one of your opponent's front row units. Gets Voltage and VMAX just going, and then lets you just snipe things in the front row. So if your opponent's playing a rearguard centric deck, it does kind of mess with their turns. Moving on to the G zone, we do run one Vitria. That's on top of the standard Sabriz. I didn't get it out of my box, but I do run it with this deck. Sabriz is there for the grade 2 stall. Your deck is all GB1, so you do want it in there. Vitria, however, is Thunderstrike 1. He gains 5k. It's a little awkward with the G guards just because in this deck you have to have Thunderstrike, so you have to hope that either A, you're striding first so that you have it, or B, that your Chituro went off so that you could use its effect to gain the shield. If not, it's just a 26. Then we do have one of my favorite arts in this game is Bulwark Dragon. The SP version looks absolutely gorgeous. He gains 10k at Thunderstrike 3, and at the end of the battle, for every 4 you have binded, you choose one of your opponent's rear guards at rest and retire it. The fact that it's just 10k for free is really good. The retire is just kind of added gravy. And then he does combo with Chain Bolt Dragoon. We do have Lightning Dragon Knight Zorus. He's a 1-of. On hit, retire 1, bind 2. It just accelerates plays if you don't want to use your Voltage early. Because normally in this deck we do Stride Voltage first just because he does the same effect. But then sets up for VMAX later. Voltec Sapper, Thunderstrike 3. When he swings, you can give him 10k. At the end of the battle, Counterblast 1 for every 2 you have binded, retire 1. It's just a really cool field wipe. If you're not set up for VMAX to strike the whole board, you can go into him and just pop what you need. We do run 2 Conquest Dragons. Conquest Dragon is retire 1. You gain +5 for each empty front row rear guard, and mixed with Vanquisher, you can get both of them empty, and then have a 10k to the front. So, say like that draw trigger is now 15k, just because, which is really good. The Dragon Dancer VN, she's a 6k base, so you get to draw 1 for Soul Blast, and then gain 10, so she becomes a 16k, which is good numbers. We do have 4 Dragonic, Voltage. Voltage is flip a copy of himself. If he hits, you retire 1 and bind 2. And then for every his GB3 is for every card in the bind zone, you gain +3 to the front. So if you have 5 in there, it's 15. If you have 6 in there, it's 18. 7, it's 21. It just keeps exponentially growing, which makes this deck really deadly in the late game. And then you have 3 Dragonic Vanquisher VMAX. VMAX's skill is Thunderstrike 5 for Counterblast 2. When he swings, if your opponent has no rear guards, you just swing it, or you deal damage. So you have the potential, they no guard that to A, hit them for damage, but then deal an extra damage. Or if they're a deck like Pale Moon or Bermuda where they don't keep it forward, you can just punish them for it. He also does have an added bonus where for every face-up unit with Voltage in the G-Zone, you can swing at an extra unit. So if you have, say, 4 Voltages face-up, you just went first turn Voltage, second turn Voltage, now you're at VMAX, well, then you're swinging at 4 units in addition to the Vanguard. So usually you can just board wipe no problem unless they Dismal, which makes it just, again, a really deadly late-game deck. Thanks for watching our profile on Dragonic Vanquisher. If there's any other decks you want to see profiled, we'll get those out for you. We're working on content every day. It's just been, you guys know how life goes. We should hopefully have a Token Ramp Blue deck out soon enough for you too, on top of a couple other things we're working on. Don't forget, we do have our tournament coming up Sunday, March 26, 2017 at 316 Collectibles in Newark, California. We'd love to see you there. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one, guys. Stay sacky.